beautiful friends, it's Erica. I'm getting my October energy update out a little bit late, but better late than never, right? So this is really going to be a message that I really want to emphasize for all of you that are on an ascension and an awakening journey about the next 6 months to a year, but I'll just focus on the next 6 months in particular due to the astrology. But and that is all around the reason that many of us have been early to the gate, or what I call it, what people call the way showers, where we have the awareness of what is about to happen in the collective, in the global sphere, in world events, and in the ascension of the planet into new Earth. And this is a time of great anticipation and actual exuberation in a lot of ways, because this is a massive, massive shift. And many of you have heard me tell the story of how back in May of 2019, I was given a very clear message that my emphasis and my work needed to shift to start helping light workers prepare for what was coming. Now, we had no idea what it was going to be. Now we obviously know. And we've been through the ringer as a society for the last 2.5 years. Now, one of the aspects of this that I think is very, very, very important to prepare emotionally, spiritually, for what is to come over the next 6 months is to remember that, first of all, we came here for this at this time to help with this transition process. Some of you heard me say on my other video the other day about one of my channeled sessions I did last week, which was all about being like, I was told by Archangel Michael that we are in the transition. I spoke to some of it in the last video, but being in this transition, it is important to remember, because remember this sort of transition and I guess big freaking deal is really important to remember the emotional roller coaster, and to realize that this is going to be a bit of a long haul. I guarantee you it's going to take longer than we think. And so we have to mentally prepare for the ups and the downs. We have to mentally prepare for not knowing how long it's going to take. And I'll use the example of what happened in our school district in California. We were in lockdown for the kids were not in school in person for 14 months. Meanwhile, other places in the world and in our own country were open, fine, no problem. But part of that 14 months involved being told multiple things. We were told they'll be back here, they'll be back on this date, here are the restrictions, or here's what's going to happen. I was one of the 8 families who basically sued the governor of California. It is the only reason the kids even got back onto campus in 2021, in April of 2021. If we hadn't done that, the kids would have been locked down for even longer. But it was very, very, very important for our kids emotionally. And what happened during leading up to them going back to campus was we were told we were going back, and then it got changed. And so there was this roller coaster of getting excited and then getting disappointed, getting excited and getting disappointed. And when that happens over and over and over again, that's what drains you emotionally. That is what drains you spiritually in a lot of ways, because it's that feeling like, oh, yay, we're there. And then, oh, no, we're not. And we don't know how long this is going to take. And so if we can all, as light workers, as starseeds, as beings of love and community and faith, if we can move forward expecting that journey, we're going to fare a lot better, which is in turn going to help us be stronger for those people that are newly awakening. And many of them are going to be going through incredible dark nights of the soul. They're going to be going through through a very different, shouldn't say different, I will say accelerated process than perhaps we went through, because we didn't have the time crunch, the time pressure, things being shoved in our faces. And so what's important to remember is, so this whole global lockdown that we experienced since early 2020, that was just the precursor warm-up, guys. I know that sucks to hear, but if you think that's the end of it, it was really the warm-up. It was the warm-up for us to see how people react and respond to completely shifting their day-to-day routines, their belief systems, challenging their belief systems. That was the precursor, because collectively we needed to get more and more people awakened to what was really going on, so that when the rest of everybody really figures out what's going on and we begin making the shift into finding the solutions and creating the new paradigms, the new earth communities, the new way of being here on this planet, that we will be able to help those that are probably going to have the most intense reaction to this change. And if you guys have heard me talk about this too, I've done many videos about this as well, but if you think we've seen people's shadows coming out and playing out over the last 2.5 years, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I wish I could say, oh, it's going to be all phenomenal, it's going to be so great. And it is important that we hold that vision and know that that is where we're going, because that is the truth. Yet it's going to be challenging. And so we are going to be very much even more needed for those people who really have a shock of a lifetime for them. And we have to remember our journeys, what we went through when we discovered the truth of everything and how the world works. I remember, I mean, I really began going down the rabbit hole back in 2008, 2009. I had already been exposed to it through my naturopathic work, where I could see that there were many solutions and things that health practices that would help cure many diseases, that they weren't allowed to be talked about, they weren't allowed to be done. So I already had an exposure to it. So my point is, we are about to deal with a lot of, I'm not talking just shadows, but I am talking almost like visceral, primal fear, shame, confusion. So if you really look back at the last 2.5 years, you guys have strengthened your muscle. You've gone to the Lightworker gym, if you will, to really practice the skills that are going to be necessary, and you are now ready. And part of being prepared and part of being ready is knowing the battle that you're getting into. You've trained. Archangel Michael showed me an army of divine masculines, basically in formation in a triangle. It was massive. Everyone's trained, everyone's prepared. And now it's time to apply the training. It's time to get on the field now and do what you've practiced to do. You might get some battle wounds, you might get some scars, you might get hit a couple times and end up down on the field. But it's important that you get back up and you understand this is where we're going into, but you also understand the glory that is on the other side of this. So I just want to, this isn't really a global energy update as much as a reminder for every single one of you that's watching my videos, because if you're watching my videos, like you know what I'm talking about. Because what we have happening are major paradigm shifts. We have incredibly big things changing. And I know you guys have felt it. We've talked about it on other videos. But it's time. And we have to remember to have compassion when people's darkest shadows reveal themselves. And that will most likely include lashing out at anyone around them, lashing out at loved ones, lashing out at strangers, being in that energy of denial. And because if you think about it, the people that are going to be going through the hardest time are the ones that have vehemently denied what has been going on. Vehemently, like either pulled the ostrich move of put their head in their sand, pretend it's not happening, or they've been so conditioned, or AKA brainwashed, to believe what they believe. And it's very real. And imagine being in their shoes to when they find out that not only were they bamboozled, like we all have been, right? We all thought we lived in a world that is different than it really is. But imagine almost the social pressure of being the last ones to know. They have spent years and years mocking people, trying to inform them and share the truth and share the information so that it's a slow, gradual thing. And so it is in these moments where there is going to be that shock energy, that denial, the shame that comes from how could I have not, seen this. It's going to be very intense. And we know this. And so this is not, as you know, you've heard me say this before, especially those of you in my inner circle. This is not the time for ego, for denying compassion or care or nurturing for those that have been really mean to us. And again, I'm not saying that it's excusable what people have done. Yet, if we truly are of the light, that stuff doesn't matter. If we see a broken person coming, we need to have compassion. We need to have understanding, and we need to listen. This is a time for more listening than speaking. This isn't definitely not a time for I told you so, okay? Although, because that's the ego wanting to show, see, I was right all along, you were horrible to me. This is a time to quietly hold the light, extend compassion, and be prepared for the worst of the worst of the worst of some people to come out. And what I am so excited about is I genuinely feel that the majority of people have already awoken. And so therefore, or at least awoken to some degree, to where they're going to be able to hold that light and hold that steadiness in a stormy ocean. They're going to be that anchor in the water. So I hope that you are all as excited as I am for where we are going. Am I a little bit, nervous? Sure. Nobody knows. Nobody knows exactly how things are going to play out. Nobody knows exactly what to expect. And that is why we need to be prepared for the unexpected. We need to be prepared for literally anything. And know that the more that we can stay in our power and in our steadiness, and in our balance, the more that it will help other people. We have to be very careful not to get pulled into fear. We just had a massive act of God here in Florida, and those of you know why I'm doing air quotes, right? We've just had this big hit here, and so many people are in that vulnerable state. We again have more practice of how to be in the light during the storm. I will tell you, you know, we had, you guys have probably, if you've seen my videos about the updates of what we went through, there's damage and destruction everywhere around me. It was real. We were in like ground zero for the eye of the storm, the outer wall of the eye, whatever. I don't want to repeat the whole story. But my house, my parents' house, my camper trailer that was parked now down near the ocean that I literally thought I was going to lose. Thought my camper trailer was going to be gone. No damage. Basically no damage. My camper's completely fine. And I thought that was going to be blown out into the smithereens. And you have to see what happens when you can stay in your power and not get into the fear, how you are going to be protected, okay? So this is a discipline. This is a mastery that we are all going to be tested with, okay? And you know my channel and all my videos are always about empowerment, and that is exactly what this is for. And if I would suggest bookmarking this video, if this has resonated for you, downloading it even if you want from YouTube, so that when you're having a difficult moment or questioning things or needing a boost, you can just re-listen to this and realign with the message of encouragement. So I did say in the last video, buckle your seatbelts. We do know this. And like for me here, I still don't have air conditioning in my home, which has been now more than 2 weeks, and the summer has decided to come back, and which is why I'm like dressed in a tank top. It's so hot. I'm just trying to sit by a window to get any breeze whatsoever. But you know what? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, right? And I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I have a roof over my head. So it's these types of things where it's like, bring it on. I'm good. We're safe. So definitely remember that moving forward. Also, quick update on all of my transitions to creating my community that's more private, that all got thwarted with all the disruption with the hurricane. So do stay tuned. If you're in my inner circle, you have not received any emails since June because I haven't sent them, but that's why I've been redoing everything in the back end. Courses coming out. So now that things have settled a little bit more, I will be able to get more back on track. So do stay tuned for that. If you're in need of support, check out my Lightworker playlist that I have here. That lots of videos that are there, and any of my older videos as well. All of my videos are meant to be timeless. I've literally, I don't even know how many I have now on this channel. Close to 1,000 videos, maybe more, over the last many years. So lots of resources here available for you. And anyway, I send you so much love. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. I also am moving some stuff over to Rumble. So I'm going to be probably posting this in a couple places. Maybe this is already posted on Rumble if you're watching it there. Hi. Just new to Rumble, making the transition over there, along with some other platforms as well. So with that, guys, I send you so much love. Stay strong, and we've got this. Until next time. Bye.